Welcome to my next video. This makeup is one that I'm really excited to do. This is my interpretation of Ingrid Pitt's look in the movie The Vampire Lovers. It's a Hammer movie from a long time ago. It's a horror movie, obviously, The Vampire Lovers. She plays a woman named Carmilla, a vampire, and she's very fabulous. I could never be as fabulous as Ingrid Pitt, ever. I totally know that. Let's get that out of the way. But I really love her makeup, and I think that, I mean, you might like it too. So I wanted to do it. I have done it, obviously, and now, hopefully, you will enjoy it. So, if you want to see how I did it, if you want to see me do it, then just stay here, because I'm going to do it right now. Oh Lord, I'm feeling all kinds of special right now. I don't know what's going on. The first thing I'm going to do is prime my eyelids with soft ochre paint pot. And I'm also going to take the soft ochre paint pot under my eye because there is some under eye work involved in this. So before we go any further, I would like to express to you, I do have foundation on and a little bit of powder, but that's it. I have NARS Sheer Glow on, and I haven't done any concealer yet. I'm just gonna wait until afterward because we are working with some black shadows. Next, I'm going to take a little bit of Mylar underneath the brow. She's got like a natural sort of sheen under there, so I don't want to keep it too matte, but I also, you know, don't want it really shimmery either. And I'm also taking that inside in the inner corner just a little bit. Now I'm using the Lorac Pro palette, two colors from that. I'll be using Cream and Taupe. I'm taking Cream and sort of just putting it in my crease and meeting up to that Mylar color. Now I'm taking Taupe and putting it basically all over the lid, concentrating it in the crease a little bit, toward the outer corner, of course. I'm not going to be taking this up too high. She didn't really have much color above her crease. I'm not worried about this being too perfect. I'm really trying to make it a little less than perfect because honestly, she's a little messy at times. You know, you want it to look realistic. You know, it's movie makeup. It's supposed to look realistic and like sort of a little bit worn in. So you don't want it to be too perfect. Unless you do, and then make it perfect, whatever. But just her makeup is not very perfect because it's lived in. She's a real vampire, so she's not too worried about having Instagram quality makeup. This look is mostly about her magnificent damn liner, okay? It is like winged out. The wings have wings, okay? They seriously do. It's a dark black smoky line on top with like this thin little sharp kind of razory wing on the bottom. Now I'm taking Sugar Pill's Bulletproof eyeshadow and lining the top of the lid. So we're gonna press it in first and then sort of pull up and blend along the line. So I'm taking it out, just using the angle of the brush to place a wing, and then just going to kind of go back on itself, just kind of sweep it back toward the inner corner. Now I'm taking the brush that I have that taupe color on and I'm just going over the line, blending a little bit. And then I'm just going to go back and darken the black and just keeping it a little bit closer to the lash line this time. And now I'm going back over it and blending again. Pressing in a final bit of black. And voila. Now, what is next? For the under wing, I'm sorry, I'm referencing a photo. I actually have the movie pulled up and paused on my computer. Oh, she's so beautiful. Looking at it now, I think I'm gonna just do a little bit more. Yeah, like that. Just a little bit more. And then I'm gonna blend it again. So now there is the matter of this bottom wing. This bottom wing haunts my dreams. To start the bottom wing, I'm taking a little bit of the taupe eyeshadow and I'm just gonna trace along really easily and see where I want it. If I don't like it, it's not black, so I can kind of remove it a little bit easier. Okay, I'm happy with that. Taking some of that Sugar Pill black, I'm now just sort of going over that bottom wing and intensifying it. I don't want it to be as dark or as thick as the one above. It's much more wispy. I'm barely tapping into that bulletproof and barely pressing it on the skin. And after I do, I'm just sort of lightly pulling down instead of back and forth or anything like that. Now I'm just gonna raise it a little bit because I do have like a dip here, so I'm gonna have to make it seem straight, instead of going upward, I'm going to have to sort of cut back in and build up this line here a little bit. Because her wing sort of comes from the bottom of her eye, the lowest point, and out. And if I did that, the gap would be way too large. So I'm starting where I want the gap between the wings to be, and then fill this in here. So it's going to appear straight, but it will definitely have more of a curvature down here than hers does. Like so. And you definitely want to stop sort of in the middle of the eye. You could take it a little bit farther in, but hers, most of the scenes, hers stops in the middle. So, like that. Now I will magically do this eye. Done and done. I did have a wee bit of fallout. I would have done this prior to doing my whole foundation, but the liner is really specific. So having your base already on is kind of important for this. Just be willing to like wipe off under your eyes and put some concealer on. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm using here the MAC Pro Longwear in NC15, like I always do. Also, I'm making sure to take that over the lip just because this is sort of a nude, very nude kind of lip. I don't want any of my natural color showing through. So before I move on to my lashes and my lips, I'm going to finish the face with a little bit of bronzer. Really more of a contour. She really didn't have too much on her cheeks, maybe a little something peachy. So I'm using right now Sculpt from MAC. And I'm just taking a little bit of peach blush, really barely nothing, but she did have a little bit of peachiness there. And just along the tops of the cheeks, I'm going to take Emphasize powder, shaping powder. It's a white, semi-luminescent. You could use Mylar. It really, to me, looks like she has a few different lips going on, but mostly it's a peachy nude, and it is lined like you would not understand. It's crazy. It is just a line. It is like Myth lipstick with cork liner around the damn lip, okay? It is pretty serious. So I don't know if I'm really gonna do that. So I'm starting off by using Myth. Then I'm going to take one of these Ancient Matines from MAC. It's just like a kind of light medium peachy color. And I'm putting that sort of on the outer corners of the lip, blending in. And now I'm going to go around the lip with Spice Lip Pencil, which is just sort of like a medium dark orangey brown. And honestly, I think this lip is a little bit too pinky. Yeah, it's a little too pink, so I'm gonna actually go around it with this concealer pencil in NC30, which is a little yellow, so I'm gonna try to balance it out a little bit. Yeah, that works a lot better. Okay, so these are the lashes on. I just use some really like thick black yet fluttery looking ones. It's definitely a false lash kind of look. A little bit of bottom mascara. There's definitely some bottom mascara going on. So for the beauty mark, I'm just taking Feline eyeliner, kohl pencil. Okay, so it's kind of displeasing me. I don't like it. So what I'm gonna do is take a sharper pencil, which is this chestnut pencil, anything that's sharper, and I'm gonna dip it into black liquid liner, then stick it down and twist, and then pull away, like so. And the last thing to do, just before everything's done, is, I don't know, I think just for my eye shape, I'm gonna take a little bit of the taupe color and run it underneath my eye, but closer into the inner corner. She really didn't have this going on, so I didn't want to do it, but I just feel like it's kind of necessary for my face. So this step also helps the eye, helps it kind of look more like her look, just because it contributes to the almondy shape of the eye, which really she does have. You really don't want it to be very doe-eyed. No, it's very difficult. Some of us have very round eyes, so just by sort of lowering the shadow there in the inner corner and not letting it go back up naturally like it actually does, that sort of brings the inner corner of the eye down and therefore balances it out, makes it look a little more almond instead of like rounded. All right, guys, so this is it. This is my Ingrid Pitt Carmilla tribute. I don't want to spoil anything for you for the movie. The film actually is, if you want to see The Vampire Lovers and you don't have it or have never seen it or whatever, it's on YouTube if you, for free, the whole thing. If you just, you know, Google The Vampire Lovers, it'll come up. And, or I can link it down below. Here he is, guys. He just woke, he's always sleeping while I'm doing this, so he always looks a little crazy right after he wakes up from his nap. Oh, I love you too. There he is. He's so sleepy. You ready? You wanna go out? Icky, are you ready? You wanna go outside? All right, go on. Okay, guys, so that's it. I hope you liked it. I hope you learned something. I hope you try it out. And I hope you go watch The Vampire Lovers, because it's so good. Yeah. Until next time, stay classy, stay spooky, drive safe, be nice to people, drink water, hydrate's important. What else? Okay, I'm done. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching. So I forgot one really important thing.